Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wembenyama versus Chet Holmgren. I am ready. And like I said, we don't have a whole lot going on today. There's in-season tournament games, obviously for the NBA, and then a little bit of the NHL. But I figured I would grind it out and do a little bit of NBA today. And this is going to be one of the first matchups for many, many years to come between Wemby and Holmgren. So I am here. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. And hopefully we end up getting a decent game. Normally I would stream a little bit later than this particular time. But again, this game was on early at 4:30, so I figured, I looked at the NHL slate. Kraken aren't playing today, so I didn't really see a whole lot to do. And then I had to go down the NBA slate. So I was thinking, okay, well, if I'm going to end up doing an NBA game, do I want to do the Blazer game where we're going to end up playing the Jazz? And it, probably will get ugly. And I would assume that the Blazers would probably get waxed. The Blazers are 3-6, the Jazz are 3-7, and that game starts at 6. So I'll end up watching that game here in about an hour and a half. But I want to make sure I'm at least, keeping my eyes in tune with Wembenyama as well as Chet Holmgren. So hopefully they end up putting up a decent matchup for us here tonight. Let's go, baby. All right, baby. Let's get situated here. All right, I'm going to get everything set up. All right, I think I am good to go. I'll wait for a few people to come through and hang out, and hopefully we end up getting a good matchup here tonight. All right, baby. I think I got everything set up here with TNT. Just want to make sure everything is good to go and smooth. All right, I think we're good to go. Shout out to everyone watching through Twitter/X as well as YouTube. And again, we'll be following up on everything else that's going on the NBA side with other scores and updates, as well as college hoops and the NHL. Let's take a quick look at the slate of games while we wait for people to come through and say what's up. All right, so we got the Hornets 28, Heat 21 in the first quarter. Hawks 31, Pistons 27 in the first as well. Pacers 34, Sixers 26. And then starting here around relatively the same time, we got the Magic and Nets starting right now the same time as the Spurs and the Thunder. And then at 5 o'clock, we got the Mavs with Luka going against the Pelicans. My Blazers going against the Jazz here at 6 o'clock. A good matchup after this game is over is going to be the Clippers and the Nuggets. Nuggets should end up winning there at home. And then we got the T-Wolves and Minnesota at 7. And then at 7:30, we got the Grizz versus the Lakers. So a pretty packed slate, but I figured this would be the best one to do. And then on the NHL side, we got the Bruins 2, the Sabres 0, Flames and Canadians, Golden Knights and Caps knotted up at 0, Penguins and Blue Jackets knotted up at 1. And then coming up here in about a half hour, we have a slate of 4 different games, the Lightning and the Blues, the Ducks and the Predators, the Coyotes and the Stars, the Devils and the Jets. And then at 7:30, the late NHL game will be the Panthers and the Sharks. Jason in the building, what's good? He said, go Jazz. Go Blazers, baby. Yeah, you know what? You guys will probably end up beating us, later tonight. But, hey, the Ducks are doing really, really well. But we got to make sure that we're not overlooking the Oregon State Beavers. It goes Huskies, Ducks, Beavers, right? The Beavers host in Corvallis the Huskies this weekend. There is a strong possibility that the Beavers could win that game. And then let alone after we take out Arizona State, obviously here this weekend, the following week, we're going to end up having to play Oregon State. So don't be surprised if Oregon State ends up beating one of us, Huskies or Ducks, or both. It wouldn't shock me one bit. They're the third best team. They're 8-2. They're ranked in the top 10. The chances of them beating the Huskies and the Ducks is not really that likely, but you never know. So I'm hoping that I don't even really care, honestly, if the Beavers end up beating the Huskies. The thing that I know is that if the Huskies lose, that particular game or not, the Ducks and the Huskies should end up playing each other, as we go to the Pac-12 championship, and then let the best man win. And I honestly think if the Ducks play on neutral field and it's in Vegas, I think that the Ducks are going to be favored. And I think that we have a very good chance, to get to the playoff because it's going to end up being, the two best teams with the best records. The loss with UW is not going to hurt us. And like I said, if we had better coaching from Dan Lanning and if he ended up going for field goals instead of going for it on fourth down after we got that pick from Michael Penix Jr., and then early in the third quarter, we had another opportunity for a field goal that he decided to pass on. So we could have ended up winning by 3. We lost by 3. And it's very hard to be able to beat a team multiple times. So we'll see what happens. Zoltan Vessel, Champagne, Wembanyama, and Zach Collins for the Spurs starting lineup. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. But I definitely think the Ducks have a very good chance. Shy, Giddy, Dart, I'll see you. Williams, Chet Holmgren, Bama and Texas, they're not going to win out, and even if they do, they're not better than us. So and then you got to think Ohio State and Michigan play each other. So some of these teams are going to end up canceling each other out. So as long as we win, this weekend, Arizona State, we ended up, beating off the breaks off of Oregon State towards the end of the year, right? And then we play Washington. Then as long as we end up taking care of business and we win the Pac-12 championship, we'll be in the playoff. So it's either going to be us or Washington that's there. And honestly, I think that we have a very good chance. Ohio State and Michigan are beatable. I think Georgia isn't as good as they were the last 2 years when they won the Natty, so there's a little bit of wiggle room. And I don't think anyone thinks Florida State is that good of a team. That team is not as good as Washington or Oregon. So we'll see how everything shakes out, but I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. All right, baby, here we go. Bo Nix might be able to win the Heisman. There is a good chance that could happen. All right, baby. Let's go. In and out. Wemby with the rebound. Sochan, I see you, baby. I love the courts that they got with this in-season tournament. It definitely makes the games a little bit more exciting. Checking out all the artwork on the courts and whatnot and the style that they got. Deep three. In and out, no good. And hopefully Wemby will end up getting, close to a triple-double. Same thing with Chet, so. Yeah, but I'm not too worried, about this weekend. But I know definitely that the Beavers are probably feeling pretty good, with their chances against the Huskies and the Ducks. But we'll have to see how everything shakes out. Jumper, no good. Rebound by Sochan. Go, push it all the way. Oh, rejected. Holmgren has got those long arms and long legs like Wemby, baby. All right, we're knotted up at 2. It's not like, with Dame, he didn't want to be here anymore. He ended up getting a divorce with his wife. He wanted to move on. Obviously probably wanted to play with the Heat, but the Heat didn't give us a whole lot in compensation. It's like if you're going to try to give us like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, the fuck no. Like we need to actually get something good in return. Get like Butler or Bam or someone that actually is like a worthy piece of Dame who's going to be a Hall of Fame, player. But, I feel that with the trade, it is what it is. Like I said, could we have gotten maybe a little bit more, possibly, but I figured it would be like a 3-team or 4-team trade. It is what it is, though. And, I wish the best for Dame. I don't got any hard feelings. He played here. He was a great community guy. We don't really have anything bad to say. I mean, if you're a bandwagon Blazer fan or a hater of Dame, and then you're going to get the haters that come out there. But I mean, at least it gives him a good chance with Giannis in the next 3 years to be able to win a title for his resume. So, and the Blazers are extremely young, so it's like, Scoot is supposed to be the guy, but he ended up getting hurt. That was supposed to be our Dame replacement, but he looks very timid out there, and then he got hurt. So right now, Shaedon Sharpe, that's our best player on the Blazers, but we're not making the playoffs this year. Blazers are pretty terrible, but hopefully in the next few years we can get a little bit better and maybe end up getting a 7-seed or 8-seed. Ooh, Wemby behind the back with the flush. Ooh, that was sick. Wemby, let's go. But we're not going to be able to hold a guy hostage if he doesn't want to be on the Blazers. Let him go. He already played here for a long, long time. And honestly, if Paul Allen didn't die, and we ended up having the proper people running the team, then maybe we could have gotten some support, and brought in an all-star. But the fact is that not a lot of people want to come to Oregon or come to Portland. We don't have the same kind of nightlife, as like a Miami or like an LA. I get that, but eventually we're going to have to get a free agent that wants to come here and help us, win a championship hopefully one day. Nice deep three there. So hang. I see you. Floater is good. I do like Giddy a lot too. The Thunder have an up and coming team, lots of young guys, but they're raw and they're talented. I wish kind of like the Blazers were structured more like them, but it all depends on the development. Aiton is kind of robotic out there. Scoot is supposed to be the guy, but then he got hurt. Anthony Simons was supposed to be one of our guys. He got hurt too. So it's like almost half of our lineup. Robert Williams, we brought him in from Boston. He got hurt. He's out for the year. So I mean, we really don't have any luck. Everyone gets hurt on our team, and at least Shaden Sharp will be maybe a future All-Star. He's got the hops. He can shoot threes. He can dunk. He can really do it all. But besides that, I mean, we got one player that I can count on a daily basis, and that's about it. But if all our guys were healthy, there was a chance that maybe the Blazers overachieve, and maybe this year or next year they could get an 8 seed. But they're still sitting like maybe around 10, 11, 12. They're not really one of the top 8 teams. The West is so competitive. Nice backdoor cut with the flush. Let's go. Matt in the building. What's good? Yeah, but I still think that the Ducks are in really good position, but I wouldn't sleep on the Beavers one bit. I think that they could beat the Huskies. Hell, I think the Beavers could beat the Ducks. So we can't act like, oh, we're automatically, going to the Pac-12 championship against the Huskies. Oh, we're going to automatically make the playoff. Oregon State, if they play their type of football, with Damian Martinez and Ugalele at quarterback, the Clemson transfer, I wouldn't be shocked if they upset the Huskies and the Ducks, or they beat one of us, Huskies, and lose to the Ducks, or maybe they lose to the Huskies and beat the Ducks. I mean, it could be any range of those scenarios, or the Huskies and Ducks could beat the Beavers and that matchup as well. But I think the Beavers are much closer than people think. Everyone's assuming that the Huskies and Ducks, one of us is going to get to the playoff, which I think will be true. But the Beavers are the third best team in the Pac-12, and they got good offense, good defense. Their recruiting has been getting better and better. So I'm definitely looking forward to that matchup this weekend, and I'll probably end up calling that Beavers and Huskies game just for that excitement. I got a lot of friends that are Beaver fans, and I got a lot of friends that are Duck fans. I got friends that are Husky fans as well. And we know Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix are the truth, but you never can underestimate a team, especially if they end up being third best in the conference, and they're 8-2. So it's not like they're some scrubbish team. Washington's 10-0, Oregon's 9-1. They're 8-2. And honestly, the 2 losses that they have, they probably shouldn't have lost those games. So they easily could be sitting at 9-1 as well, like us. So it is what it is. But definitely a lot of excitement as we get further along. Closer and closer to the college football playoff. And then as far as the Blazers, they're going to be on here in about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't really expect a whole lot, but will I watch the game? Of course. We're playing the Jazz. They should be beatable, but when your team has got half of the lineup and half of the bench guys injured, anything is possible. So, what's good, Matt? How are you, brother? And like I said, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do tonight. It was really going to be a breakdown between either the Blazers and the Jazz or this game, but I figured that this game started first, and I was already chilling. I already went on a couple long walks with Paisley, so I said, "Fuck it." I mean, I'm not going to watch every single NBA matchup, but obviously, when the NFL and college football is over, right? It's going to be a lot of NBA, it's going to be a lot of college hoops, and a lot of NHL. So I want to make sure that if I have an opportunity to keep up on Chet Holmgren and Wembanyama, I want to make sure that I'm following them. And plus, this is the first matchup in their career, in their history during the regular season for many, many years moving forward. These guys are going to battle it out, and they're going to be rivals. So I thought, you know what? Do the Blazers and Jazz. Who's going to care about that stream besides me? Nobody, except for maybe Jace because he's a Jazz fan. But other than that, I figured, well, you're probably going to get more people wanting to watch together and kind of see what we got going on here. So and hopefully it ends up being a decent matchup, which I think it will be. And the score is relatively close. It's 11-9, so I like what I'm seeing so far. You're going to get a little bit of inside play. You're going to get a lot of up and unders. You're going to get some. You're going to get some Showtime dunks. You're going to get a little bit of everything. So, and then as we get further along, we'll get a few more people in here, and they'll give us some more updates on the rest of the NBA matchups, as well as the NHL matchups tonight too. All right, let me shift this over. Oh, nice jumper. Shay Shay is nice. He might be one of the most underrated players, in the entire NBA. I feel that he kind of had a breakout season last year. Started to get himself into kind of superstar, status, but still, I don't think a lot of people give him the full credit that he deserves. Oh, another jumper off the bank is good. Shea knocks it up at 13. Good first quarter so far. Reach in foul. Shea is money. SGA, Bay Bay. All right, 5:48 left in the first quarter. We're knotted up at 13. Nice backdoor cut with the flush. Yeah, but also too, if you don't read and you don't watch film, then you're not following. You're not doing fantasy football. Then you're not going to be as smart, on that side with the NFL. Like I said, for people that cover the NFL and whatnot, there's a lot of bad pieces, that are biased that cover it. But again, the thing that you love the Ducks, so you're going to know a lot about that. But again, like for someone like me that has to read 4 to 6 hours a day, watch film a couple hours a day, and cover NBA, NHL, MLB, fucking NASCAR, wrestling, NFL, college football. It's a full time job. It's not easy. You know what I mean? You have to really dedicate yourself to, do the articles and read the blogs and look at the beat writers and watch film. Otherwise, you're just going to be talking out of your ass, which a lot of people do on TV and in podcasts. They just look at someone else's top 5 or top 10 and then they just copy it and act like it was theirs. So if you don't have as much NFL knowledge, it's not a big deal, brother. You can give us some duck knowledge. I mean, covering the NFL is a fucking full time job in itself, even if you were just maintaining and watching one favorite team, let alone covering all 32. Nice pump fake. Do a good pass. Wide open. Giddy, no good. Corner 3, no good. Get that board. And he's going to the line. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. And then I think tomorrow we're probably going to end up doing the Kraken tomorrow. I have to look at the matchups to see. Cavs play the Blazers at 7 p.m., so I guess I could end up doing that matchup. So either be Cavs and Blazers, or we're going to do Kraken and Oilers. So I'll have to decide which matchup that we want to do. If we want to do hockey tomorrow, or if we're going to do the NBA again and end up doing the Blazer game tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm probably leaning towards doing the Kraken, though. I mean, both teams are struggling right now, but there'll be plenty of time for me to do, Blazer coverage and more Kraken games. But I want to just kind of mix them in a little bit, especially, if we don't have any college football or NFL on, during the week besides Monday and Thursday. Deep three, in and out, no good. 3:40 left in the first quarter. I steal. Push it. Rebound. Out of bounds. Yeah, get Wemby back in the game, baby. That's the whole point. Trying to watch Chet, and I'm trying to watch Wemby. Little pick and roll. The game's on TNT, so if you want to be able to watch along, I got a link. If anyone wants a link, if they don't got one. Oh, nice jumper. Finley in the building. What's good? I'm just trying to peep a little bit of Holmgren and Wemby. And then Blazers are on here in about an hour and 10 minutes, so I'm going to watch that as well. And then tomorrow we're going to end up doing the Blazers and the Cavs or the Kraken and the Oilers. And then we'll end up getting into Thursday night football. And the matchups actually, as we're going into the weekend, actually are pretty good. Like we got Bengals and Ravens on Thursday night. That's a hell of a matchup. That's actually like one of the best Thursday night matchups all year. So, I'm looking forward to that. A lot of rivalries and a lot of good matchups over the weekend too. Steelers and Browns going at it. That should be pretty interesting. Chargers and Packers, Bucks and Niners, Seahawks and Rams, Vikings Broncos with Joshua Dobbs going against Russ after that big win against the Bills. I'm actually looking forward to that. And then Eagles Chiefs. So this might be like the first time all year that I'm actually looking forward to watch every game. Thursday, Sunday night, and Monday night. Bengals Ravens on Thursday night. Yes, please. Vikings Broncos. Normally it's like, I don't really care that much. But if Joshua Dobbs keeps playing like he is and Russ is playing the way that he is and the defense for the Broncos is playing good, and we might get Jay Jetta back. Justin Jefferson, probably not. Maybe wait one more week, but you never know. Then we've got Eagles and Chiefs, a Super Bowl rematch on Monday night. So arguably the best Thursday, Sunday, Monday night, all in succession that we might have had all year. So yeah, well, like I said, a lot of the people that are on TV, they're not really necessarily educated. They don't really necessarily read and watch the film. It's more about entertainment. It's just about screaming and yelling and you waving your arms and coming up with horrible takes so that people can argue with them. Argue with them on the show, argue with them on their posts on social media, and then they just have to see if there's dumb enough people that will argue with them. Even though they know that they're baiting people. It's like they got their worm and they got their fishing poles, and they're just waiting for the idiots to bite. You know what I mean? And the sad thing is that there's a lot of people out there that do bite. The smart ones don't. The smart ones don't even watch, like me. I'm not going to watch that bullshit. You can only tell me that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl, 20 years in a row, from certain people. We know that that's not going to happen. It's all about, entertainment, conversation, arguing, just a bunch of nonsense, and it sucks. I think that at this point, like I was mentioning before, I think that the sport talk world for podcasts and TV is at its very worst. Like you actually get better content on Twitch and YouTube than you actually get on, TV or podcasts. And then you get all these former players that played sports thinking that they're going to be good on the microphone or have good takes. And a lot of them are terrible. They're not good. Like leave the microphone work to the pros, to the ones that are really good at what they do. Just because you were a former athlete doesn't mean that you're going to be great on the microphone or you have good takes. But again, a lot of these networks are like, oh, well, the guy's a former player. Let's pay him, and then hope that it works out and we get ratings. But yeah, but big win for the Broncos, and I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? I got a lot of friends that were, depressed for many, many years and whatnot. But again, it kind of hurts them also too, because it's like, yes, you won, and the Bills are reeling, but also you need a draft pick. You need to figure out what you want to do for draft capital moving forward. But when you've been struggling for years and years and years, sometimes you'll take the dub. You're just like, fuck it, let's start winning. And if you notice, when they played the Chiefs in the last month, twice, they played good. You know what I mean? They lost one, they won one, and then obviously you beat the Bills, and it shows you Josh Allen is starting to get exposed. Josh Allen looking like Jameis Winston. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Like I said, I've been getting good results on my Duck streams, and I do think that there is a small chance that the Ducks could win the Natty. There's a small chance that we can make the playoff, and there's a good chance that we're going to make the Pac-12 championship against the Huskies. And I actually think that we could win. We only lost by 3, and Dan Lanning, fucked up with a couple bad play calls, trying to beat Chip Kelly. So as long as we play smart and we're not overly aggressive, we take field goals when they're there. We take what the defense gives us. I think that we can end up representing the Pac-12, and if we end up getting in, who I think like if anyone plays Florida State, we can anybody can beat them. They're fugazi and fake, right? But like Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, they're the truth, right? And then also you got Washington and Oregon. Those are the 5 best teams. Florida State is in there at like 4, but they're garbage. I think that if Washington, Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan played Florida State, they would beat the brakes off of them. They're the one team that doesn't belong. Are they still a good team? Yeah, but they're not as good as those other 5 teams, in my opinion. I would put them behind Washington and Oregon, put them at like number 6 or 7. They're still a top 10 team, but they're not a contender compared to those others. At least I don't think so. But you never know. And maybe Oregon will play Florida State, or maybe Washington will, and then we can get to the Natty and then play against Georgia, Michigan, or Ohio State, and end up having an amazing championship game. And if Oregon ends up losing, I'll be rooting for Washington. I'm not a hater. I like Michael Penix Jr. a lot, and it's just nice that at least the Pac-12. This is our last year of the conference, and we're going to go out with a bang. So we got 1 minute left. 26-25 Thunder. Now, I just need to see more Chet, and I need to see more Wemby, baby. Oh, good steal. SGA, baby, with the layup is good. He's fun to watch. Super Bowl's up for grabs. Like I said, there's definitely whoever's hot and healthy at the right time. But I would be shocked if the Philadelphia Eagles don't get there. Normally, I don't pick a team that has gotten there the year before to get there again. But I don't really see anybody on their level. You got Niners, if they can end up getting healthy and hot at the right time, they can compete. You got the Lions and Seahawks, the Cowboys and the Saints. But I mean, Cowboys and Saints, they look like they can get to the playoffs, but I don't know about winning a playoff game. The Seahawks and Lions look pretty good. Same thing with the Niners. But I mean, if you have to go into Philadelphia, I'm not sure if any of those teams can beat Philly in Philly. And then obviously on the AFC side, we'll see where it goes. We'll see how everything kind of shakes out. We know the Bills aren't that very, they're not a contender anymore, but you still got the Chiefs, you got the Dolphins, and you got the Ravens. There's quite a few teams on the AFC side that could emerge, at the top, but it's still kind of too early to say who it may be. We still got a lot of games left. I do like the Ravens and Jags balance, but again, anyone can beat anyone on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. And there's always going to be tough matchups. Like everyone in the AFC North, is very, very tough. So I'm not sure if there's really one set team. Like I like the Chiefs defense this year, but I don't like their wide receivers besides Rice. So they might be able to get back there again, and we could end up having the 2 same teams again. But I wouldn't be sleeping on the Bengals too. I do like Joe Burrow and what he's been doing. So maybe the Bengals could be the team that ends up getting back there. Jumper is no good. So maybe we could get an Eagles-Bengals Super Bowl, something like that. I could see that scenario. CJ Stroud, you can throw him in there. And he's not going to win the award. I mean, the last time someone won the award as a rookie was Jim Brown in the 50s. So he's not going to win it. But if you want to put him, hey, top 5 guys for MVP, and you want to put CJ's name in there, yeah, go ahead. I mean, he's playing like a 7 or 8 year pro as a rookie. They got a lot of veterans on the team. The rookies have been stepping up. He's been playing great football. And pretty soon, they're going to end up winning the division. They may make the playoffs this year as a wild card. They may or may not. But I like them. They're fun to watch. And it's nice to be able to see some of these quarterbacks panning out in the last 2 years. We saw, obviously Trevor Lawrence pan out. Zach Wilson did not. Justin Fields did not. Mac Jones did not. Trey Lance did not. But Justin Fields still has enough talent where he could end up, being above average, where he's above average right now, but he's more of a runner rather than a thrower. So we have to see if the Bears build around him or trade him away, and then they end up drafting like Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr., or if they draft an offensive lineman and Marvin Harrison with Justin Fields, or if they ship him out and then he goes to another team. So essentially, you got one quarterback that panned out in Trevor Lawrence and another one in Justin Fields where it looks like he will pan out to be a top 15 quarterback. But will Justin Fields be a top 10? I don't know. I think it's too early to say with that. And then if we're comparing Justin Fields and CJ Stroud, I'm going to go CJ Stroud. He's more of a complete quarterback. So he may not be able to run as much as Justin Fields, but anytime you have a gimmick quarterback that likes to run, usually their career ends up getting shortened early. Look at Richardson. Richardson is a great player like CJ Stroud. And if he wasn't such a runner, maybe he would still be healthy and still playing for the Colts right now today. And, and Bryce Young, they don't have a whole lot of talent there. He's undersized, so he's got that, not really going for him. But we have to be able to give Bryce Young like 2-3 years. And then if they improve the team and get better receivers, better O-line, fire the coach, get a better defense, then if he fails, then we can say, yes, Bryce Young is a failure. But we can't say he's a failure just yet. Like I said, they don't really have anybody. Like if you put CJ Stroud on the Panthers or Richardson on the Panthers, they would be sucking too. Like, your best receiver is fucking Adam Thielen. So, think about that for a second. So, but I definitely like the Eagles' chances, to get to the Super Bowl. And then as far as the AFC side, could the Chiefs get there? They could, but I kind of like the Bengals more. I think that's kind of the team that I like the most. Dolphins, but I have kind of issues with their offensive line and their defense. But if their offense is rolling with Tua and Tyreek and Waddle and Mostert, they could overachieve and make it. So I would say probably, the top teams that have the best shot would be the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Ravens. And I like the Jags as like a sleeper team. But again, it all depends on, who's hot and healthy at the right time. So first quarterback out of Ohio State that actually has played great, but it also is a combination of who the coach is with DeMeco Ryans, also who they have at wide receiver with those rookies that have stepped up, Nico Collins and Tank Dell, and a lot of the weapons that they have with Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary, and they got Will Anderson from Bama, So, and they have Case Keenum third string, obviously there to give that mentorship. So I think it's a combination of things. Like I think that if Bryce Young was on the Texans, that he would look a hell of a lot better than he does now. Same thing with Richardson too, even though he's hurt. He was looking good for the Colts. But yeah, I still think there's a chance that Justin Fields could turn out to be a top 12 quarterback. But if I'm comparing what I've seen with Fields, he could be a dual threat, run the ball and pass the ball. But I want to see him with a true number one. I know you got DJ Moore, but I want to be able to see like how does Justin Fields play with like a DK Metcalf type of receiver, or an AJ Brown. And once you get a guy like that, then let me see what you got going on there, or with like a Marvin Harrison. If he ends up being there on one side, DJ Moore on the other, and then Cole Kmet, and then you got to get a better running back, than Roshan Johnson or Khalil Herbert, Deontay Foreman. The Bears haven't been the same since they got rid of David Montgomery. The Lions have obviously taken advantage of that. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But I love CJ, and it's just nice to be able to see quarterbacks panning out. And we got one this year, because Richardson got hurt. But it looked like we were going to have two. The year before, we only had one. And this upcoming draft, we're probably going to have 9 guys come out, and probably 5 will pan out, 2 will be elite, and then 3 will be above average, and then there'll be a few guys that will have to wait their turn, and like a Bo Nix maybe has to wait for like a Baker Mayfield to get hurt, and then maybe Bo will get in and do something, but we'll kind of wait and see. Floater, no good. 28-25 Thunder. Wemby for 3, no good, out of bounds. Well, they need more than that. They need offensive line, they need defensive line, they need a whole new defense, they need to fire their coach, they need to fire the GM, you know what I mean? But again, if you ended up building the line and then you ended up adding a Marvin Harrison Jr., if you haven't, watched any college tape, or watched games, it's one thing to watch a highlight reel, but he looks like he could be a game changer, and if you bring him in, then you got DJ Moore on the other side, Cole Kmet, and then you figure out what you want to do at quarterback. But really, you need to build that offensive line and that defense first. But it wouldn't hurt, bringing in a nice piece like that. But obviously, offensive line is going to be much more important. And then they got to figure out if Justin Fields is the guy, or if they want to go with like Caleb and like Marv. But if you just bring in Caleb and Marv, that's not going to solve the problem. They have a lot more problems that they need to fix. So, David in the building, what's good? Yeah, but definitely looking forward to the NFL matchups coming up on Thursday, Sunday, and then Monday. Might be the best week that we've had all year. Bengals and Ravens, Thursday night football. Sunday night football, Joshua Dobbs, Russell Wilson. Actually, an intriguing matchup. The Vikings have been playing good. Justin Jefferson is getting close to coming back. The Broncos are playing good football on defense. Russ is playing pretty good on offense as well. So that has a little bit of intrigue, not only for people that play fantasy football, but in general. And then Eagles and Chiefs on Monday night, a Super Bowl rematch. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You could say, well, that Vikings Broncos could be better. True, but for what it is, it's not bad. I mean, they could have replaced it with like Bucks Niners, or something of that nature, or Chargers Packers, or something like that. But there's a lot, kind of like matchups that are kind of one sided, this weekend too, like Cowboys Panthers, pretty lopsided. Lions Bears, pretty lopsided, but Steelers Browns should be pretty good. So we'll see on how that goes. Absolutely, bro. Well, I was gonna do the Blazer game tonight, but I figured, we're playing the Jazz. There are gonna be plenty of games. I mean, I'm gonna turn it on. I'll be watching both games at the same time and give updates and whatnot. But I'm thinking tomorrow, it's either gonna be the Blazers and the Cavs that I'm gonna do. Even though we have all our guys injured, Robert Williams from the Celtics, we brought him over. Thought he was going to be a key role player, out for the year. Anthony Simon supposed to be the guy over CJ McCollum after we traded him away. He's out for multiple weeks. Scoot, a draft pick that was supposed to take over for Dame at point guard, he got hurt. Now the only really bright side, DeAndre Ayton is very robotic. We got him from the Suns, but at least we got Shaden Sharp. So Sharp is exciting. Sharp is a guy that can dunk. He can shoot threes. He's athletic. He'll be a future All-Star one day. But other than that, there's not really anyone else. I mean, Jeremy Grant from time to time, Aiton from time to time, but it's like our whole lineup is depleted. Our bench is depleted. But at least we got one guy that's really fun to watch every night with Shaden Sharp. So, like, if I was going to buy a Blazer jersey, I wouldn't buy a Scoot. I wouldn't buy an Aiton or a Jeremy Grant. I mean, the only jersey I would buy would be the Shaden Sharp. I like his game. He was very raw, last year. But if he gets a chance to be in the starting lineup now with all these injuries, he'll take that role and he'll never be on the bench ever again. So, he'll be in our starting lineup. We can't afford for him to be the sixth man anymore because all our guys are hurt. So, but tomorrow, the Kraken play the Oilers, I believe, and I'm either going to do that or I'm going to end up doing the Blazer game. So maybe I'll do a poll tomorrow. But Cavs, Blazers play at 7. No one's really going to give a shit about that except for Blazer fans and myself. And then the Kraken are on tomorrow, but I'm going to cover both. And then the Kraken is on at 5:30 against the Oilers on the road. So, but there'll be plenty of time that if I end up, deciding to do like this game over the Blazer game, over the Jazz, or if I do the Kraken game tomorrow, there's going to be plenty of Blazer streams that I'll end up doing. Big three. Raiders, Miami. And obviously, firing the head coach was huge. So now you can actually believe. Flush it. Yeah. There we go. Nice dunk. But now you can actually, like, as a Raider fan, like, McDaniels is garbage. We knew he couldn't coach with the Broncos and Tebow. He's kind of a cancer. He's not in tune with the players. He's just doing his own thing. He doesn't have a relationship, for the players. The players are not going to, they gave up on him. And you have to bench Garoppolo. He's garbage. So to bring in the rookie, even if he struggles from time to time, who cares? It's better to watch the rookie than have Jimmy G. You already know what Jimmy G is. He's a game manager, but a lot of times he loses the games for the team. So you'd rather go with Aiden, and I like what I see. He's the better quarterback. Josh Jacobs feels re-energized. Devontae Adams is actually smiling. Max Crosby's happy. So I think that that was the right decision. And honestly, they should have fired McDaniels at the beginning of the year. Oh, Chet. Wow. Alley-oop dunk. He gets hit on the head, and he still flushes it. Wemby and Chet are fun to watch, man. Two of the best big men in the game, and they're young. Oh, elbow in the top of the head. 33-28. Thunder. No, no worries, man. I try to keep it 100. I'm not biased. Like even if I have favorite teams, I call it how I see it. Like if the Blazers or the Ducks or the Mariners or the Kraken or Buccaneer, whoever, if someone's doing good, you're gonna know. But if they're doing shitty, I'm not gonna defend them. It's like I don't take shit personal. When a team or a coach is doing shitty, you got to call them out. You don't want to be that person that's just overly biased and they can't, have any criticism on their team and they take it personal. Sometimes you just got to be able to realize that when words are spoken, sometimes it's true. You know, there's definitely going to be haters out there, but for someone that actually watches a lot of the games and, and I cover the whole league, all the leagues, so it's like there's no point of being biased. I mean, if you want to, have a biased take, all you got to do is flip on any channel on TV or listen to any fucking podcast. So it's about time that there's someone out there that just calls it how it is with no type of favoritism or bias. Like this is what it is. This is the truth. And obviously if you speak facts and speak truth, you're going to relate to a lot more people. It's like a lot of things that people are thinking, but they're afraid to say. Dorsey, it's a reaction move that they wanted to fire him, saying that he's the problem. He's part of the problem, but he wasn't all the problem. Josh Allen is Jameis Winston. Like I said, he wasn't even good until fucking Diggs came. The defense is hurt. No Tre'Davious White, no Matt Milano, no Vaughn. It's like when you have a majority of your defense hurt, and you don't have a good strong running game. Josh Allen throws picks. You got exposed. It's actually surprising that Allen hasn't got exposed earlier than this. And he's like one of the most overrated quarterbacks. He's got the most picks ever since coming into the league. And he's a guy that is a fun quarterback to watch prior to this year. You know what I mean? But again, it's a team game, not a me game. So I like guys that don't turn over the football. I've always been more of a Mahomes and a Burrow guy. I've always thought that Josh Allen was overrated, and he's got a big cannon and a big arm. You know what I mean? And I know the Buffalo Bills are like a popular team and whatnot, but you're finally getting to the point where the Buffalo fans now are like, fuck, we got exposed. Like, they were able to hide a lot of those things because the defense was pretty good. They were normally top 5, top 10, but now the defense isn't there. The running game isn't there. The kicking game sometimes is suspect, and like you're getting exposed. And then it's Allen forcing it more and more and more. And now he doesn't have a defense to bail him out. And, sometimes, you got to get to a point where, you have to take advantage of your moments. Like when they were, in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, 13 seconds left. Like you got to take advantage of your moments. And if you don't take advantage, you might not get back there again. So Ricardo in the building. What's good, brother? Always, dude. Wemby with the left. No good. I appreciate you. What do you want to see for photos, brother? I got you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Every day, bro. Every day. It doesn't matter, if I'm doing basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling. I'm always grinding every day, whether it's, reaction videos in the morning and then, maybe some, live streams in the evening and whatnot. But I got to make sure that I'm grinding it out. Ooh, deep three is good. Let's go, baby. Padilla in the building. What's good? Yeah, lots of NHL and lots of NBA. I was, a little bit torn on what I wanted to actually stream, but I figured Wemby and Chet's first game, I'm going to be covering, the NBA for years and years and years and years until I die. So I might as well, it's either that, and there was no Kraken tonight. So if the Kraken were playing, I would have done them first, maybe. But, it's like, how often am I going to be able to do Wemby and Chet? It's like, it's not going to happen that often. A couple times a season. And these are the two most prolific big men that we have that are up and coming in the league. So you might as well cover them. So, and then tomorrow, and then I got the Blazers on here in like 45 minutes, so I got to do that. And then tomorrow, I'm going to either do the Kraken and the Oilers, or I'm going to end up doing the Blazers and the Cavs. Now, I know no one's going to really give a shit about the Blazers and Cavs besides me or other Blazer fans, but other than that, that's what we got going on tomorrow, more than likely. Oh, well, technically, I could do the Celtics and Sixers tomorrow. That's a good matchup. 8-2 versus 8-1. That would be better than the Blazer game against the Cavs since all my guys are hurt. So, yeah, I guess that'll be the stream tomorrow. Celtics, Sixers, or Kraken, Oilers, and I'll do a poll in the morning maybe, and we'll go there. So, Michigan, I don't know. I think it's a little over-exaggerated. I mean, every fucking team cheats, to a certain degree. They got caught with, being blatantly, open with fans or personnel that's, at the other team stadium, trying to be able to figure out signals and calls. But the bottom line is, for all the teams that end up cheating, they're so good, they don't need to cheat. New England Patriots, they were going to win Super Bowls regardless of cheating. Maybe not all of them, not all seven, but, like the first three, they won by only 3. So there was probably cheating that was going on in those as well, but they weren't reported or caught then. It was the Super Bowls after the first 3, after they beat the Rams and then they beat the Panthers in 03 and then the Eagles in 04 and the Bucks won in 02 for my first Super Bowl. But Michigan is good enough, and like I said, it's sad too because Michigan and Ohio State, they finally are like, okay, the SEC is finally weak. Alabama and Georgia are not as good as they were prior years where you knew Alabama was winning the Natty. Georgia was winning the Natty. This is the very first year where it's even, where it looks like Washington and Oregon could win it. Michigan and Ohio State could win it. And if Georgia wins, I don't know if anyone would be like shocked, but they don't feel like they're as good as they were in the previous 2 years when they won it. Georgia doesn't feel like they're going to win it this year. Like they're there in the playoff with Florida State, but Florida State's Fugazi, right? Georgia can make the playoff, but I don't know if they're good enough to win it all. Good enough to make it to the Natty, but maybe not good enough to win it all. But and then Michigan and Ohio State have to go against each other, and we'll see how that plays out. But it's just kind of sad that they had to go to those extremes, and then instead of giving the punishment that they should have, they're just like, well, we're just going to ban you from coaching for a couple weeks or whatnot. But that doesn't mean that the interim head coach can't wear an earpiece and listen to Jim Harbaugh, or Jim Harbaugh can give him all plays to run. So it's like, yeah, having Harbaugh's emotion, yelling at the players and getting them hyped up, that's one thing. But I'm definitely intrigued to see what happens between Michigan and Ohio State at the end of the year. And normally I don't stream games early in the morning at 9 a.m., but I may for that particular matchup. Just because it's a huge one, and I always watch it every year. If there's one college matchup to watch that's not your favorite team, it's that matchup at the end of the year. Michigan and Ohio State never disappoints. It's always a dogfight. So Thursday night, it does look like it's going to be fun. Absolutely. I agree with that. I'm actually really looking forward to the schedule this week. Bengals, Ravens, yes, please, right? Then we even got a good one for Sunday night. Vikings, Broncos. The Broncos are playing better. Vikings with Dobbs is playing great. We might get Justin Jefferson, and then we get a Super Bowl rematch, Eagles, Chiefs, on Monday night. I love it, man. Things are starting to, kind of go on the up and up. But I'm not sure if Ricardo's still in the room or not. But if you are, let me know what photo you want or photos. If there's some, favorite player, wrestler, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestler, whatever you want, I can throw it up for you. If not, it's all good. But I always like to be able to give that option. This is on TNT too, if anyone needs a link. Alley-oop? Oh! Now towards the baseline. I need to see more Wemby. Yeah, but I'm definitely excited to see how things kind of go down the stretch. And with the Bengals and the Ravens, you may see one of those teams, possibly in the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game. Everyone likes to talk about the Chiefs and the Dolphins, right? But I like the Jags balance. Even though Trevor hasn't really had a good year statistically, but the defense has been good. ETN has been pretty fucking good too, right? And I like that balance that they have. I like the balance that the Ravens have as well. But I think the team that I like the most that no one is talking about is the Bengals. Like I could definitely see a Bengals Eagles Super Bowl, and I don't think anyone on social media or any of the shows. I mean, besides if they come here and they watch me and then they steal my take, and then they act like they created it themselves. Like people on Good Morning Football and Pat McAfee show and NFL Network and all the other shows, but that's kind of like if I was going to predict, like a sleeper matchup that could happen, that's where I think I would go right now. I would go Bengals, Eagles, because you're not going to have the same teams from the Super Bowl the previous year. I don't really believe in the Chiefs' offense this year. The defense is great. Wide receivers are a little shaky. Taylor Swift situation kind of, there's distractions there. Dolphins, I love the offense. I love Mostert. I love Waddle and Tyreek and Tua, but their offensive line and defense is suspect. And then I like the Ravens and the Jags, but sometimes they play great on both sides of the ball. Sometimes they don't. So there's a little bit of a question mark there as well. So, and then with the Bengals, I think they have good offense, good defense. They just started slow because of Burrow was hurt the first couple, weeks into the season. So, I think that no one's talking about the Bengals, but we should. And we'll see if they end up winning against the Ravens on Thursday night. Then more people will hop on the Bengal bandwagon. And then the Eagles are the best team in football. So as long as they don't have any injuries, I would assume that they're going to make the Super Bowl. And so, if I want to throw out, a scenario, are the Jags and Ravens with their balance on offense and defense good enough to get to the Super Bowl? I think so, but will they? And I don't think so. Same thing with the Dolphins. I think they can get to like the AFC Championship game. They could overachieve, but if it ends up being like the Chiefs or the Bengals that are there, you would probably have to lean towards those teams that have experience rather than a new team like the Dolphins, the Ravens, or the Jags, who are very, very good, but even the Chiefs going against those teams, you probably have to give the edge to Mahomes and the Chiefs in that defense, just because they're the Chiefs and they have that experience with Andy Reid. So, but if I'm going to go with a team other than the Chiefs, yeah, a sleeper team, and it's like I think I believe in Burrow a little bit more than Tua and Lamar and Trevor Lawrence on a game in, game out basis. But again, it's up to those wide receivers to stay healthy with Higgins and Jamar and Mixon. Offensive line needs to stay good. And then the defense has got Hubbard and T-Rex, and I like them. So we'll see. It's going to be very, very interesting moving forward as far as the NBA and the NFL is concerned. All right, 41-37. Nice pump fake. And they're really limiting a lot of the limits for Wemby as well as Chet Holmgren, but I like what I'm seeing. Hot off Wemby's hands. Turned it over. 41-37. Nice pass by Giddey. Jumper, no good. I do like Josh Giddey a lot. I think he's very underrated. Oh, jumper is good. Little two-man game. Get up there, Wemby. I'm ready for a Wemby blocked in the 10th row. Jalen Williams for three is good. Bang, baby. 44-41, Thunder. Bank is good. All right, we've got about 4 minutes left before halftime. 44-41, Thunder. Giddey at the top of the key. Good ball movement by the Thunder. Cut. There we go. Back door. Oh! Damn, Wemby with a big block. Hopefully Jalen Williams is okay. Jalen Williams went to go throw that down. Or it wasn't Wemby. I thought it was Wemby, but it wasn't. Wow. Let's see if they do a little two-man game here, a little pick and roll. Deep three. Bang! It's good. Knotted up at 44, baby. I don't hate the Cowboys, Eagles, Saints fan base. I don't hate any of those fan bases. I mean, the media, doesn't, want to really give the Cowboys a whole lot of love, but like, I got no problems with a lot of those fan bases. The Cowboy fan base doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, the Saints fan base and the Eagle fan base supports me through and through, and like I said, I'm passionate, but I keep it real, you know. I mean, some fan bases are better than others. That's for damn sure, but Wemby's on the bench now, probably for the rest of the half. But hopefully, I get to see a little Chet Holmgren here. All right, 3:30 left in the second quarter. 45-46 Spurs. Floater. Oh, it's good. Oh, you got to pay attention, bro. I mean, I got more Saints fans that support me on the channel than Bucks fans. Bucks fans don't even, or they're not even on YouTube. Like they don't even exist. Like I don't even like they go to the games and they watch games on their TV or tablet, but they're not on YouTube. Baseline jumper is good. That's a shot. All right, we got 2 minutes left in the second quarter. 49-48 Thunder. Giddy, nice pass. Giddy is a magician. All right, Giddy on the fast break. All the way, baby. Nice. Hell yeah. No, there's no fan base I think that I like hate. There's certain fan bases that I dislike, you know, and stuff, but there's not really ones that I necessarily hate. There's certain ones that are annoying, but I guess it just depends on your experience with the people that you have. So, ooh, the Blazer game's gonna be coming on pretty soon. Was it 6 o'clock? Look here. What time is it? Is it at 6? Okay, 30 minutes. All right, 30 minutes then. All right, 2 minutes left. 50-48 Thunder. Pretty fast pace first half. Oh, nice steal. Pass it. Come on, SGA. All right, SGA at the line. Free throw is good. 51-48 Thunder. Sohan. See if Chet can lock him up. Rebound. All right, Thunder basketball. Take it, Chet. All right, little pick and roll with Holmgren. Give him the ball. There we go. All right, cool. Now we got Wemby and Chet in the game here at the same time for the last minute. Oh, nice backdoor. There we go. Just more annoying people rather than, because like I said, you're going to have annoying and idiot people on every fan base. Not every fan base is going to have great people. You're going to have biased people, idiot people, haters, people that are, only about their team and they don't do any reading, bandwagon. It's like there's so many different types of fans, fair weather, so I mean, you can always tell the people that actually know what they're talking about and the people that are bullshitting. So 56-48, minute to go. Give it to Wemby. There we go. Wemby at the top of the key. Wemby, fade away. No good. SGA for three. Oh, nice pass. There we go. All right, we're almost close to halftime here. Oh, nice backdoor pass. Another turnover. SGA Giddy for three. No good. Give it to Wemby. All right, we're getting close to halftime here. It is halftime, but I got 20 seconds left here on TNT. And since we're at halftime, let me know what you guys want to, do for photos, anything that you want to see or talk about. Please do. Giddy. Oh, Holmgren with the flush right before halftime. That was sick. Giddy is a magician. Wemby from the full court shot. No good. End of the first half, 58-48. All right, let me know what you want to do or what you want to see. Anything Ducks or anything else that you want to look at or talk about. Fire away. We're going to have a few minutes here at halftime. So otherwise, I'm just going to be watching other games and whatnot. So 25 minutes until the Blazer game comes on. I get that set up. Yeah, a lot of fake fans too. I mean, anybody can root when the team is good, you know what I mean? But it's like, how do you act when the team is bad? I mean, that's really what, you can see the character, on how things are. I mean, like I said, can you still wear the gear after a loss? Or are you one of those people that get so pissed off that you just throw it on the ground and stomp on it, and shit? Like, people get, over emotional on certain things and whatnot. But if you can rock the gear after a big loss, that's when you know the person's a real fan. I got the Blazer game queued up here, which will be in about 20 minutes. All right, so I got that set up. All right, I think we're good. We got halftime, so I'm going to throw up a few photos while we're waiting. Wemby, Holmgren. Let's go over the stats here real quick before I throw up some food or whatever else. Thunder up 58-48 at halftime. All right, so Wembanyama, he's 4 for 11, 0 for 3 from deep. He's got 8 points and 8 boards, 1 assist. And then for Chet Holmgren, he's got 5 points, 2 for 6 shooting, 1 for 3 from deep, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. So definitely got a ways to go, but both guys will be in double digits, obviously in just a couple buckets, and hopefully we end up getting a good quality matchup in the second half. Oh, it's all good. I'm just about to just do some photos and whatnot. As we're waiting. Yeah, I asked him if he wanted to be able to, have anything up there, but he comes in and he'll just throw some love. He knows I'm always grinding no matter what. So we got 95 to go. Anything that you want to see photo-wise, anything that you want to go over, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, Blazer game. Blazer game is on in 20 minutes, so I already got my TV and everything set up here and my computer set up for that. So we'll be covering that game also. And then tomorrow, we have a choice to make tomorrow. So tomorrow we can do
We can do the Blazers and the Cavs at 7, but I was thinking no one really cares besides me. If I had more Blazer fans that love Blazer basketball like me on here, then that would be the one that I would do, and maybe we can get to that point one day. So I think tomorrow I would rather do the Celtics and the Sixers, so I could see Tatum, right? I could see Jaylen Brown. I could see Embiid. That is an awesome matchup. 8-2 Celtics versus the 8-1 Sixers. It's on early, though, at 4:30 p.m., right? So we're either going to do that, or we're going to end up doing the Kraken and the Oilers at 5:30. So I don't know really which one. Obviously we'll probably have more Kraken fans than NBA fans and whatnot. And like I said, I was experimenting with other backgrounds, and I even found some like Michael Jordan cards that I substituted from my old school. But I figured I would hit you with the Supreme, background, because I'm always looking to kind of switch things up, with the streams. And if I don't like the way that the cards look, after, based on the game that I'm doing, I'm not going to use it. But I definitely was experimenting, and I found a set of Jordan cards that I can have on the sides as well. But I thought, you know what, I can go with like a tropical background. But I was like, why not hit you with the Supreme background and whatnot? I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. So I had to switch it up. But yeah, we'll figure out what we're going to end up doing. So small parlay, Heat, Jazz, Penguins, just for fun. Okay, nice. What did you do? $10? $10 parlay, or did you do 20 for the 3? Yeah. Well, it sounded like, you were going to maybe have to, you're like, oh, maybe I'll just go down part-time if I'm not feeling good and I got to take care of the fam. And then the job is like, well, we heard you through the, the Matrix. They're like, we're going to make everyone go part-time. So, obviously you'll have to try to find something more full-time, and if you're not going to stay at that company and whatnot, and we're going into the holiday season, so hopefully everything works out for you, and hopefully everything goes good with the fam and whatnot. I was going to probably call my dad tomorrow morning and see how he's doing with the therapy and everything with his knee, getting reconstructed with the surgery and everything and whatnot. But yeah, but we'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. What do you think we should do, Sarah? Should we? I mean, obviously the better matchup, would be doing the Celtics and Sixers. But I don't really know how many people would show up for that. You know what I mean? It's like, I know we have NBA fans and we have a lot of people that do DraftKings and they bet and whatnot. But I'm not really sure. We probably would get more people and maybe a better chance with donos if we do the Kraken. You know what I mean? But Celtics and the Sixers is intriguing. You know what I mean? I guess it just depends if we had more NBA fans to come through. So, yeah, I'm thinking we're going to end up doing the Kraken, but I'll probably watch a little bit of that Celtics and Sixers game at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I would have done the Kraken today if they were on, but they're on at Kraken is on tomorrow at 5:30. So, yeah, we'll do Kraken tomorrow. Yeah. Well, normally if the Kraken is on, I'm going to go with that first, even over the Blazers most of the time. Now, if we didn't have everyone on our goddamn team hurt, Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Robert Williams, it's like everybody is fucking hurt for the team. So it's like I already knew we were going to be bad going in if everyone was healthy. But now we're bad because everyone's hurt. The only bright side is, Shaden Sharp. But other than that, we don't got really anybody to get really excited about. I guess maybe Jeremy Grant and Ayton, but it is what it is. Yeah, but I know that we would get, more on the dono side and more support if we do the Kraken. So we'll do Kraken tomorrow, and then we'll do Thursday night football, which will actually be really awesome. It's Bengals Ravens. So. I'm going to go throw up some photos here while we're waiting. Anything that you guys want to see photo-wise while we're waiting, let me know. Halftime is going to end in just a couple minutes, so. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, usually I'll just do it, when we have like commercials, because it just depends on what I'm watching it on. So, like, if I'm watching stuff, I have it on my speakers here, in the studio, but you guys can't hear it on your end. Now, if I have it on the TV and I have it like full blast, then you can hear it through my microphones. But a lot of times I have multiple things of audio that I can hear that you guys can't hear. But if I'm able to, put music on for some of y'all, obviously just, for the vibe and whatnot, it definitely makes things go, when things can be maybe a little bit slower during commercials or halftime and whatnot. And honestly, sometimes I'll have the music going the whole stream. It just kind of depends on how I feel or how the game is going. So, like if I'm calling a game, like it's an important NFL game, I'm not gonna hit you with the music the whole stream. But if it's, like a basketball game or, NHL or, something a little bit more mellow and a little bit more low key, and it's not like a super important game where I got to call like every single play that's going on, or we're just kind of like chilling, rather than, actually just doing the live play-by-play on every single thing like I would be doing on Thursday Night Football. Yeah, the music is relaxing and whatnot, so I'm always trying to, create the vibe. So we're going to be getting out of halftime here in just a second, and then I'll get the Blazer game on here in 13 minutes, and hopefully we can beat the Jazz. And if anything that you guys want to see now, speak up. And like I said, if you guys want anything photo-wise, it can be basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, anything that's in the news today, whatever you guys want to talk about, anything pop culture in the hip-hop game, whatever it may be, you let me know. And we got Clippers and Nuggets. Always, I'm always grinding. Yeah, she's usually going to be here on every stream that I do, unless I give her the day off or she's sick. Or we have something going on. There's, like I said, when you grind on a channel, full time, you got to be able to have people that are reliable. And like I said, especially someone like me, because there's going to be some streamers out there that take days off, and for me, it's like I think I've only had a couple days in like 3-4 months, and so it's like I'm really pushing it, and you just got to be able to put in that work and that grind, and also too, like to be able to have the flexibility to do basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, NASCAR, UFC, boxing. I mean, there really isn't anything that I can't do. So that definitely gives me an advantage over every other channel that's out there. We're never going to run out of content. There's always going to be at least something to do every day. It's just a decision. Do you want to be lazy or do you want to grind? And I'm always willing to grind. And plus, it's good for mental health too. Like I said, it's like to be a little bit of a therapist, psychologist, big brother, just someone to listen to. And then obviously when people are going through hard times, a lot of us, have gone through the depression or the anxiety or are going through some, tough times. And it's always good to be able just to kind of connect, even if it's only for a little bit. Sometimes just being able to connect with friends and being able to, talk about certain things or talk about what's going on, in the music world or in the pop culture world or in the sport world or wrestling world. And you might have a shitty day. You can come in here for a few minutes, and then instead of being at a 0, maybe by the time you leave, you're at a 4. And then maybe tomorrow you're at a 6. And then the next day, maybe you're at an 8. So, helping people is always something that I always like to do. And I always like to be able to grind it out. So, Sarah with $1, appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, $1, holla. Let me know what you want to do for photos. Let me know, and I got you. Right here, Franklin? Okay, I got you. Let me see if I can get your Colt logo. There it is. right, second half is about to start. Yeah, and even though that the NBA might be like the lowest on my pecking order between that and college hoops when it's not March Madness, you still got to be able to put in that effort, throughout the season. So that way that you're trying to at least somewhat build an audience. And so that way, when we get football completed and we have no more NFL and we have no more college hoops, to go to that, or no more NFL, no more college football, that we only have college hoops in the NBA, primarily in NHL, we're going to want to make sure that, that we're building something, prior to getting to that point. So, how many tackles does he have? All right, we're back here from the second half. And I can leave the music on in the background for the rest of the stream. It's fine. You guys let me know, like I said, if you want me to turn it off or whatever, but I got, a couple different, little mixes that I can do. I can do a little rock mix. I can do a night driving mix. I got, there's a few different ones that I can do on here. Nothing too crazy, just pretty much just kind of background music. I know I did see the Mike Ford. So that, so they might be trying to figure out what they want to do at the DH. Harry Ford, our catcher that's in AAA. Chet for 3, no good. Wemby with the rebound. So we'll see. I liked Mike at the DH position, but again, obviously they have a plan, so we'll see where it goes. I'm not sure if we're going to spend any money or not, but we'll find out. And I'll throw up a few more photos for y'all once we actually go to the commercial break. I do like Josh Giddey a lot. There's not too many players that I would go out of my way to be able to watch, but SGA and Giddey on OKC, with Chet, that's a nice trio. You know what I mean? Like, Thunder games are easy to watch when you have 3 good players like that. Giddey is a magician. Soler, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of options. Otani, Soler, Bellinger. I don't really know where we're going to go, but hopefully we get something. Oh, stolen. Layup is good. Timeout. 62-48 SGA. Pop is not happy. Let me see if I can get a couple more photos for you. Gonna find a good action shot one. That's a cool one. Looks like he's getting a face mask on himself right there, but appreciate the dono. And I'm always going to be experimenting, with different looks on the channel, and whatnot. And usually, like I said, I'll do cards on the side. And I even found some Michael Jordan cards that I was going to implement. But sometimes if you have too many things going on, it looks cluttered and whatnot. So I figured, I'll end up using the Supreme background. That one looks pretty sick. So. But I want to make sure I'm taking advantage of moments like this, especially if it's going to be the first matchup. And hopefully both of them can get going here before the game ends. Yeah, it's a cool look. Like I said, I had to go through many looks, and like I said, every basketball card look that I had, it just looked too cluttered because you have to line everything up. Everything has to be streamlined. It's like everything has to line up perfectly, and if it doesn't have that symmetrical or if it doesn't line up, it just looks a little cluttered and whatnot. So, and I had a couple other options, like I had lights and I had like like a Hawaiian background. I was just trying to find something that would, fit the stream. And after going through about a half hour, I was like, oh, why don't I just use like a Supreme background and whatnot? And I was like, oh, this looks good. So. All right, Blazers are about to start. So let me get that going here. We got Mavericks and Pelicans with Luka too. All right, I got the Blazers stream going. All right, perfect. 1K for a dollar prize, and then 4 premier tickets. Oh, to the Bucks game, nice. I know you usually try to go through those contests and try to win and whatnot. The in-season tournament, I don't know really how I feel about it, like the actual in-season tournament itself, but the cool thing about it is the courts. The courts are colored, such bright, blues and purples and pinks and yellows. It's like, it definitely makes it like more, exciting to watch, when you see the colorful courts. The whole concept of the in-season tournament, I mean, I don't necessarily think they need to do it, but I guess it's something that the NBA wanted to incorporate, and I'm not really sure if it's helping with the ratings and whatnot, but I like the courts being so colorful. Like, for people that don't really give a shit about the NBA, it'll give you a reason to maybe tune into a game a little bit more with the way that the presentation of the basketball games is concerned. So, thank you, I appreciate that. Mitchell and S. Throwback. SGA is money, superstar, giddy, underrated, great passer, magician, like a Houdini. And then you got Chet, a little skinny like Wemby, but I mean, you can really build around those big three. They just need a little bit more depth on the bench and whatnot, and then it's should be able to make a little bit of a run in the next couple of years. Chet for 3, no good. Wemby with a rebound. Damn, they're already down by fucking 20. Oh, Holmgren with the flush. Hold on. I'm just sampling some of these here. Oh, Giddy with the left. I think there's only there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only really 3 that I can, I feel that I like that I can use. So. All right, Blazer game about to start here. And sometimes it's kind of nice, it's like when I'm calling games and whatnot, I like to be able to stay busy and whatnot. But again, there's always days where I could just say fucking and take a day off and do nothing. But, it's always better just to put in that work and chill and, So we'll see who shows up, and we might end up hitting a goal, we might not, but I always want to make sure at least I'm putting in that work. So, and if I'm going to be watching the games anyways, you might as well. So I can definitely use this one. I can use that one. Let me see this one here. I don't know if I've listened to this one before. And they have one rock one. Trying to tip off at about 8 minutes for the Blazers. Yeah, but it's more than Ken Dorsey. The whole team is in shambles. That was just like the scapegoat. So, if you don't have good running backs, you know what I'm saying? And the Denver defense was good. They've been good for the last month. So it's not really, I don't think Ken Dorsey being fired is the answer. They're still going to suck. It's just Josh Allen is getting exposed like Jameis Winston. It's like, you throw picks. You're a popular quarterback. But when your running game is doing halfway decent and, your defense is top 5, top 10, some of those, mistakes get overshadowed. Those 2-3 pick games that he's had in the past. But, when the defense isn't there, when they have injuries, running game isn't there, and then Josh Allen isn't there, then everything starts to collapse and you get exposed. So, it's a matter of time. So. But I don't think really, with Dorsey getting fired, that's going to solve all the problems. They're in trouble. So. I mean, I don't really know. Like, okay, you're going to fire Ken Dorsey halfway through the year. Like, does anyone really think that they're going to turn it around? They're not making the playoffs. So. If they would have won that game against Denver, they might be able to, somehow get to like 10 wins, and make the playoffs and stuff. But it's not, even if they made the playoffs, they're not going to be able to win a playoff game. Wow, this one's already a blowout, 70-50. I figured that the Thunder were going to win this game, but I figured Wemby and the Spurs would put up a little bit more of a fight. 7 minutes left in the third quarter, and they're already up 20. Yeah, they are. Giddy with the rebound. Wow, Spurs have missed 13 of the last 14. 12-2 run by the Thunder. But even Wemby can't save them now. Ooh, what a save. This one's getting ugly. All right, they're doing the national anthem for the Blazer game, so it'll be coming on here in a second. Sohan off the glass, no good. And we'll do Kraken tomorrow, and then I'll keep up on the Blazers obviously now and tomorrow. I'll also keep up with the Celtics and the Sixers tomorrow. That's actually going to be a good matchup. Oilers and Kraken, and then Thursday will be really fun. That'll be Bengals and Ravens. So looking forward to that. All right, well, let me know what you guys want, as far as like photos or anything else. I'm here for you guys. So you guys let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm just chilling, I'm just going to grind it out for 2.5, 3 hours, hopefully get to see some decent sports. while I'm grinding it out, and then we'll do Kraken tomorrow, and then we got Thursday night football. I gotta take a look Friday. Friday, I think we're gonna do college football. That Washington State game, I think, is what I'm gonna do. All right, so we got Colorado and Washington State Friday night at 7:30, so we'll do that. So they're both 4-6, but I think it'll be a good game. You know, they both have weapons on there, and should be interesting. So we'll do that on Friday. That'll be better than doing like Kraken or basketball or anything. So let me see what the Friday slate is. Lakers Blazers. But it doesn't really have the same kind of feel as the Blazers, and we're not really good. But I can watch that at the same time. And then what do we got? NHL on Friday. All right, no Kraken on Friday. So yeah, that's what we're gonna end up doing. Then we'll end up doing Washington State and Colorado on Friday night, like we did a few Friday nights back when we ended up doing that particular matchup. So. Always grinding, man. Always. 73-50. Come on, Wemby. I mean, if I'm choosing to do Wemby and Chet Holmgren over the Blazers, I mean, at least give me a decent game. At least show me something with both players, you know. I'm getting a lot more out of SGA and out of fucking Josh Giddey, but sometimes you just gotta, dive in and see what you're gonna, what the NBA is about. Obviously the NBA is probably on the lowest out of all the, 4 major sports. But these guys are the future. So if the NBA is going to get any better than what it is, then these guys need to step up. Oh, nice deep three. Income is important, you got to be able to find the right combination, of hours and, having a job not letting you go if you get sick or if you have other obligations or whatnot. So are you going to stay with this job or are you going to look for a new one? You already put in applications for a new one, but also remember, if you put in for a new one, and they're not very, patient with, either your health, or people at your house, then they're just going to fire you and let you go. So you got to keep that in mind too. Just like some of the other jobs that you had prior to this one, it took you like 4 jobs to find a good one. So you always got to keep that in mind. If they can say, oh, we're okay, you got a doctor note, this or that, but then if you end up missing, 2-3 days in the first 2 weeks, some jobs are just like, fuck it, see you later. We'll find someone else. So hopefully, you can figure out what's going to be the best for you and, for the fam. So, yeah, some jobs are not very patient, even if they know that you're telling the truth. The shitty thing is there's a lot of people that lie about that stuff. You know what I mean? They just, and so it's like for the person that actually is telling the truth, they don't really get the benefit of the doubt all the time, which they should. So. 75-54, 5 minutes left in the third. This one's getting out of hand already. That's the NBA for you. All right, at least the Blazer game is starting, so at least I can watch that. Oh, wow, the court with the Jazz is crazy. All right, come on, Blazers. Yeah, if I knew that this game was going to be such a lopsided type of game, I would have done the Blazers and the Jazz. But I mean, I'm still watching it right now, but I would have, I could have covered that. But it's all good. It's NBA. The NBA is the NBA. It is what it is. So it doesn't really get good into the playoffs anyway. Come on, Blazers. And then anything that you guys want to see, photo-wise, while I'm just chilling, you guys let me know. Spurs and the Thunder on a commercial break, so. Kamara for 3. There we go. 8:30 to 2. Okay. Yeah, and then the Kraken is at, when we do the Kraken stream tomorrow, it's at 5:30. And then obviously we'll be live at 5 on Thursday. And then on Friday, we'll be live at 7:30 for the Colorado-Washington State. So, okay, I got you. So, what do you think you're going to be doing? Are you going to stay at that job, or are you going to be looking for another one? Because overall, you like that job that you're at, right? That's all rumor shit, though. He's from the Pacific Northwest and Seattle area, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna, be on the Mariners, though. We need hitting more than pitching, so we don't really have a need for pitching at this time. We need hitters. Now, if we were able to get him, that's fine, but I mean, it would definitely help us out. But there's more pressing concerns than Blake Snell. Jazz and the Blazers knotted up at 5. Ooh, air ball. 80 to 58. Come on, Spurs. Looking like the Blazers out there. Oh, big 3. Oh, they are pouring it on. Floater. They got to get it within at least 10. Jazz court is super purple. Dark purple, light purple. It's like crazy with these courts. Like I said, I don't know if I really care for the in-play tournament and this tournament that we have, but the courts are cool. This NBA in-season tournament, that's probably the best thing about it. We don't need him. It would be nice to have him, but we don't need him. It's more of a want, like every other team, But then if we end up, spending all that money, then what are we going to have left to, for the other spots that we need? Like, we need a better first baseman than Ty France. We need to figure out what we're doing in right field. If Teoscar's not there, if we do get Ohtani somehow by a fucking miracle, he can't even pitch for us next year because of the UCL. He can only be a DH. He can only be a hitter. So it's going to be limited. But of course, you're going to, pay the money. 10 years, $550 million, and knowing that he can help in the future hitting and pitching, and that could be the difference, for a contender. So. Be a dream come true if we get Ohtani. I mean, if we get Ohtani, we could actually get to a World Series and win one. We've never been to one, and we've never won one. So, Soler would be cool. Bellinger would be cool. Hell, I wouldn't mind Teoscar coming back to the Mariners, honestly. All right, Jazz and Blazers knotted up at 7. 85 to 59. This one is ugly. Luckily, there's only 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Wish my ESP would have been strong that I would have been able to know this was going to be a blowout. But again, anytime we end up doing college basketball or NBA, depending on how the flow of the game is going, I'm not going to sit here and call every fucking play, like, especially when it's a blowout like that. It's just more time for us. So. $6 hairs, 94 to go. I'm going to look at the college football schedule this weekend. All right, we got Michigan and Maryland, Chattanooga and Alabama. Jesus Christ, Alabama. Can you play someone better than Chattanooga this late in the season? Trash. Ole Miss, UL Monroe. Trash. Penn State versus Rutgers. Trash. Louisville and Miami. Trash. Golly, look at these terrible matchups. Utah, Arizona. That's halfway decent. Georgia, Tennessee. That's good. Ohio State, Minnesota, trash. Oregon, Arizona State. Not the greatest matchup, but as a Duck fan, we're going to watch that. That's at 1. And then Washington and Oregon State play at 4:30. So we'll probably end up doing Washington, Oregon State. And then obviously as we go at the end of the year, Oregon State in Eugene. That'll be fun. And that'll be on Friday. What day? Thanksgiving is on Thursday, on the 23rd, and then the next day, 5:30 on a Friday, it'll be Oregon State. I'm looking forward to that. And then Ohio State, Michigan, 10-0. Yeah, drop us with some facts, brother. Like I said, I'm just grinding it out, doing the daily routine. Anytime I got to do a hockey game and it's not the Kraken, or if I'm doing a NBA game, it's not the Blazer, it's just going to be kind of a chill stream. So Blazers 13, Jazz 13. I mean, rather than just me, being lazy and not doing anything. So Nebraska. Speaking of Nebraska, I wonder what's going on with Jameson. Still haven't heard from him. Hopefully he didn't pass away. I don't think anyone has heard from him around the same time, like April. I think it was like the last time I heard from him. And that was around the same time where Nate the Great passed away too. So, and we haven't heard from Mike either. Hopefully Mike didn't pass away also. Like we want to be able to have people to grow with the NWSF. So, but hopefully we don't have 3 people that have passed away. But I mean, Mike was like 90. Jameson was going through some health concerns, and then Nate the Great, he got hit with the cancer and everything, and and rest in peace. Tough. But we haven't. I don't think anybody has talked to Jameson in months. Like I'm looking on my social feed. And the last time that I talked to him was April 19th. It's a long time ago. So I know, it was sad. I mean, big supporter of the channel, donated, 500, 3-4 different times, big supporter of the channel, good friend, tough. Yeah, we had, good bonds and relationships with Jameson and Mike as well. Hopefully they're okay, but like I said, I don't think anyone has heard from those two. So, but hopefully they're okay. But since it's been this long, it makes me a little worried, because normally that they would, normally they would, have mentioned something. Yeah. Yeah, but for you, it'd be better to meet someone, where you live. There's plenty of people that are a part of this channel, and there's plenty of, dudes that you can talk to, on the phone or through voice chat or whatever, and all that. But, to be able to find something that's actually worthwhile, instead of just something that, pass the time. You know what I mean? It's like getting someone that you live in the same state with, where you actually physically can see them, instead of, talking to the dudes on the channel. That would be better, especially if the dudes are going to be like out of state and they're going to be far away. Relationships are only going to be able to go so far if you're talking to someone that lives across the country. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just better to, take care of business and be cool with yourself first, and then, not have to press, you don't have to put the full court press, with the different people on the channel. Just whatever happens, you know what I mean? End of the third quarter, 91-66. Golly. Oregon and Arizona State, baby. I mean, technically, one game starts at what? 1. So I could technically do 2 games. I could do the Oregon game and then cut into the other game after. I mean, if need be. I mean, 1 o'clock. What time would the game end? Probably 4. So 1 to 4 o'clock, 4:30. Like, it would probably end right when the next game starts. So I guess technically, if I ended up making a thumbnail early for both, then we could do both. I could do the Oregon game and Arizona State, and then maybe have to cut away from it for like the last couple minutes, and then start the new stream for Washington, Oregon State. Washington 10-0, Oregon State 8-2, and I wouldn't be shocked if Oregon State wins. Oregon State is actually favored to win the game by 2.5, and they're 8-2 at home. So people are starting to like respect what Oregon State is, not only as a team but also at home. So that's pretty surprising. I wonder if we would be favored. I would say, Oregon will be favored against Oregon State, but and then Oregon is favored by 11.5 over Oregon State. But if Oregon State beats Washington, that might be much closer. Maybe Oregon would only be favored by like 3 to 7 at that point. So I see that. I figured this matchup would be a little bit better, but the NBA, it always tends to surprise, huh? Sometimes it underwhelms. Let's see, it's 91-66. Holy shit. All right, let's take a look at the score here. And Wemby's got 8 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Chet Holmgren has 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. So both guys are definitely underwhelming with all things considered. But hey, you got to be able to show some love for the future of the NBA. They are like a one-loss team. Like their 2 losses, they shouldn't even have lost those games. They could be undefeated right now. Like honestly, like they're a good football team. Ukulele transformed them, to being a team from maybe like a 7-3 type of team, or a 6-4 type of team, and then you bring in Ukulele. Now you're sitting at like an 8-2, 9-1 kind of team, and I definitely think that. They can beat Washington and they can beat Oregon. I said that at the very beginning of the year. I was more concerned, with Oregon State than USC. Like I already knew that Huskies and the Beavers were going to be the 2 toughest games that Oregon plays all year. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, if Ohtani ends up going to the Rangers, then it's going to be game over for everyone. Then it's like what the Rangers are just going to end up going to the World Series like every other year. All right, we're in the 4th quarter now. I'm going to turn the Blazer game off and just focus on this last quarter to see if I see anything out of Wemby or Chet Holmgren here. Yeah, based off the rumors. see what's going on with the news. Judge ruling grants Washington State and OSU control of the Pac-12. What does that mean? The state judge in Washington granted Oregon State and Washington State full control of the Pac-12 Board of Directors Tuesday, issuing the ruling at a preliminary injunction hearing at Whitman County Court. Like, you can have teams join the Pac-12, or they're going to have to just blow it up. But I don't really know how they're going to be able to bring teams over. At this point, it's like the Pac-12 is kind of dead. So it's like at this point, you got to join the MAC, the WAC, the ACC. You got to find somewhere to go. I don't even know if you'd be able to get 16 other teams to even make it the Pac-8. It's like you got 2 with Washington State and Oregon State, but I just wish Washington State and Oregon State would be allowed to come to the Big Ten, but apparently they don't make enough money for them. But I would like that. That way we could keep the Washington State rivalry intact and the Oregon State rivalry intact as well. So, we got to fight. Punches thrown. Zach Collins. Oh, they're throwing some punches in this game. Didn't think I would see that. Zach Collins, former Blazer. Let's see what happens here. Wemby got fouled. And then Collins tries to tie him up here. He goes to the ground, and then he gets pushed by a teammate for no reason, Williams. And then he goes in there and then pushes Williams. And then he doesn't really throw a punch, kind of does one of those. Let me jab you in the throat kind of thing. So, yeah, Kraken will be fun. Too bad we suck like the Blazers, but hopefully they can get a dub against the Oilers. So. Now, Oregon's still at 6. We already know Florida State's fugazi. I think they would get their ass kicked by anybody that's in the top in the rankings. Personally, you got Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington, Oregon. Florida State is 10-0, but I don't think that they could beat any of the other teams. I really don't think so. I don't think Florida State could beat Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, or even Washington or Oregon. Hell, Florida State might not even be able to beat Texas or Alabama, for that matter. Maybe even Oregon State could beat Florida State. Just saying. And that's like the one team that I feel that's kind of fugazi. They don't, they have a good record, but who have you played? What kind of competition have you played? You beat up on a bunch of shitty teams in your conference. They're okay. They're a top 10 team, but they should be below Oregon. But I guess if you're undefeated, you rise to the top, so. Wish the Kraken were on tonight, but it is what it is. I gotta keep grinding no matter what it is. Damn, Blazers already down by 10. Fuck. Yeah, is that what we're going to do? Wouldn't it be the craziest shit, though, Matt, if Oregon State beat Washington and beat Oregon? That better not happen. Because if that happens, then the Beavers and the Huskies play in the Pac-12 championship and we're eliminated. Because at this point, the Huskies don't have a loss yet. And then the Beavers have 2 losses, and then we would drop down to 2, and then they would have the tiebreaker against us, in the Civil War. So that hopefully that doesn't happen. That would probably be the most shocking scenario, them beating both. But I do think there's a chance that they can win one of those games. We just got to hope it's not against us. It's against, the Huskies if they beat them. But I wouldn't mind the Huskies being undefeated when we beat them. It would be probably more painful for them and more glorious for us, knocking them off an undefeated season and then us going to the, winning the Pac-12 championship over an undefeated team, and then on top of that going to the playoff. But I would love to see Washington and Oregon in the playoff, honestly, but I'm not sure if that's going to be able to happen. But you have to understand it's a possibility. Like I said, they played us really well the last couple of years. They've beaten us. Even before they got Ukulele, they have beaten us. So it's like, they have kind of turned the corner and turned the page. They have a good football team now. I'm proud of them. I'm glad that they're top 3. I'm glad it's Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, Pacific Northwest, baby. Wemby on the ground. Wemby. You got to be tough for Wemby. This game is over. Been over. Well, let me know what you guys want to do for photos, because like I said, we're not going to be streaming that much longer. I'll probably stream to the 2-hour and 30-minute mark, or maybe the 3-hour mark, something like that. So if there's anything that you guys want to see photo-wise for mental health or anything in general, you guys, I got you. Even if we play like shit, we're going to beat Arizona State. So, and we're not going to play like shit. So, Arizona State's got a 0% chance to beat us. Come on, Blazer. Fuck, 32-25. Fucking A. Yeah, let me know what you want to do for photos. Got to make the best of it, you know what I mean? But I guess that's what I get for trying to end up, doing Wemby and Chet Holmgren, and they both shit the bed. So there's the NBA for you. That's supposed to be like their golden child, the future, and they can't even do it there. So shows you why the NBA is where it's at today. Still on a commercial break. Tacos more interesting than Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. It is good. better than Washington. They probably got the second best defense besides us. I would say Oregon and Oregon State were both in the top 3. All right, 36-28 Jazz. Wow, did TNT actually just change the broadcast? Hold up. Did TNT just change the broadcast to the fucking Pacers and the Sixers? They said this game is so terrible that we just went off that game. Did that just happen? Wow. They said fuck Wemby and Chet Holmgren. We're gonna do this instead. Hold up. I mean, there's only 3 minutes left of this game in the fourth quarter, but still. Unless it's like a live look-in while the commercial is in. Let's see if they actually go back on TNT to the game. Even the broadcasting crew's like, yeah, let's just switch it. Fuck it. 104-70. I don't think they're coming back. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, I know they've done it like on the NFL side when a game is a blowout, then they end up, flipping it. But I don't think I've ever seen a basketball game get switched over on TNT ever. Like, even if it is a blowout, I get it, it's 104-70, it's over, right? But they said, fuck it. All right, fuck that. Fuck that. Hold up. They really just dipped out of that game. Never seen that before. I guess there's something new. That's the NBA for you. Top tier quality. Can't even have the full game go all the way. That's how great it is. (38-28) Jazz. Come on, Blazers. Well, you guys are supposed to be the future of the NBA, and people wonder why the NBA is at the very, 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 very bottom. That is an exact reason why, right there. You can't even promote the guys, and you're trying to hype up a matchup, and they can't even deliver. Sad, sad, sad. Come on, Blazers, 42-31. Oh, I will, man. You have a good rest of your night. I'm going to continue to watch a little bit of this Blazer game, and I'll throw up photos for the fans, and then just chill for a little bit. And then tomorrow we'll focus on the Kraken, and it won't be. That's the problem with the NBA. It's like, if they can't even stay on their own game, then they're promoting it. Like, I mean, how are you supposed to get fans to be interested in it? Like, the only people that are interested in the NBA are the people that are betting on it. Unless you're a fan of a super team or one of your top teams in the NBA. Like, if you're a fan of the Nuggets or the Warriors or Celtics or the Bucks. But other than that, I mean, there's a lot of dog shit that's out there. In fact, yeah, tomorrow will be better. You guys can actually start going down some different options for food. Since, even TNT couldn't even stay on the game. They said, fuck this game. So we'll stay on here for a little bit longer. Maybe we'll stay for another 18 minutes or so, and then we'll call it a day. So let me know what you guys want to see for food. Just type it in the chat, and then I will accommodate. Because the NBA is terrible. But you know what's not terrible? Food. It's the worst of all the four major sports by a lot. You know what I mean? It's like not even like I wish college basketball and the NBA were cool, but it's just there's not enough good players to make it worthwhile. It's not like the NFL where you can watch anybody. Even baseball and NHL, like you can still watch the lower teams. Even if it is the A's or the Royals, or the Nationals, the Nats. I mean, I would rather watch them than watch half of the NBA teams or more than half. So it is what it is, though. Let's get some lasagna. I got you. I mean, it's like every time I try, to like push myself, because it's like at some point we're going to have to do NBA and we're going to have to do something like college hoops. But it's like, why is the product so fucking terrible? Like overall, like every once in a while you'll get a good game and a good matchup, but you can't tell me as an NBA fan that you can watch every single team in the NBA and enjoy it. You're a goddamn liar if you're saying that. There's just no way. There are way too many shitty teams, that are out there. It's a tough watch. I mean, I can do Blazers because that's my team and whatnot, which I'm watching right now. But I mean, the league is in trouble and they don't even realize it. Or maybe they do. I can go for a good lasagna. Lasagna sounds fucking good. I'll have to go take Paisley on another long walk. $47-33 Jazz. There we go. Deep three from the corner. Bang, baby. 47-36. Walker with the three. Nice job. Let's go. Well, there would have been if you didn't make all those moves that I told you to make at the end of the week. All those players that you scooped up would have been scooped up on this wire. That's why you got to make sure you're capitalizing in those first 3 weeks, like I told you. Otherwise, it gets to a point where you're kind of at week 8, 9, 10, 11, and it starts getting real fucking thin. Then you just got to hope that people drop. Like when the people grab something, that they drop something valuable, and then you can pick up something that someone else dropped. you're going to have to wait till tonight or tomorrow morning. But by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, I'm already going to sift through all the other shit that's there. Everyone else will be sleeping. I'll be up at 3, 4 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and I'll be able to see if there's anything actually worthwhile grabbing. I mean, there's some pieces on there. There's not a lot. I guess it just depends on if you can see value. You know, I can see value, you know, but it just depends on what you need or what you're looking for. What can you upgrade? You know, you got what? You got Tyler at quarterback that I dropped. You know, you got what? Henderson, Singletary, even though he got 30 carries, but I mean, who the hell knows if he'll get carries moving forward? You know, wide receiver, Hollywood Brown, even though he had a bad game, but if Kyler gets healthy, maybe that could be an option. You know. And then you got some defenses that you could do for, 1 week, and then some kickers and whatnot. But not. I mean, it's thin. You know, defense, kicker, wide receiver, running back, and maybe one quarterback. And there's not a whole lot. Yeah, I would just keep Ridley on your bench. You know what I mean? Unless you wanted to swap Ridley for Hollywood Brown. But again, like some games they're going to do good, some games they're not going to be there. You know. But if I was you, I would just keep Ridley on the bench, you know, because the thing is, as soon as you get rid of Ridley, what's going to happen? He'll have a 20-point game, and you're like, fuck. And then you got to hope that the person that picks up Ridley doesn't use Ridley against you. Because that's how it always works. Like, the guy sucks, you get rid of him, and then someone else is just like, fuck it, they'll just take a chance, grab him, they start him, and then they put up 20 points against you, and you lose. You know, you don't want that to happen. But you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, you already have other options, so you don't necessarily need him. You know, you're just trying to, keep continuously getting dubs. And that's crazy that you almost lost to Megan again. You know, go figure. Fucking, Josh Allen, has a, an off year. You know, and it was good that you had him last year, but it shows you how you could be one of the best in the world last year and now be dog shit this year. So even though it didn't work out with you with Burrow at the beginning of the year, I imagine you're much happier now with Burrow than having Josh Allen. Like, I actually think that the Bengals have a chance to make the Super Bowl this year. You know, I think the Bengals and the Eagles, I think that's a sleeper Super Bowl matchup that no one's talking about. I'm the only one that's brought it up, and I feel that, the Chiefs, their offense, it's not there, and it's hard to be able to have the same teams go back. So if it's not them, who could you trust? Could it be the Ravens or the Jags? They have a good offense and defense, but they just haven't been there, to that level. The Dolphins are good, but I don't really like their O-line or their defense week to week. So who's that next team that if it's not the Chiefs, right, and it's not the Ravens or Jags, and it's not the Dolphins, and it's the Bengals? So maybe the Bengals and Burrow can get hot at the right time with that defense, and maybe we'll get Eagles and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. And if it happens, you heard it here first. You'd be like, oh, shit, O-Dog said that shit in fucking week 10. Week 10, week 11. But still, they're going to need a little bit of luck. That AFC North is tough. Yeah, I mean, anyone that I rostered on my team at some point or another, I don't really get rid of pieces that are garbage. I just have to make room. I had Hollywood Brown on my roster. I had Jalen Warren on my roster. I had Sutton on my roster. Sometimes you just got to be able to maneuver. So. $56-48 Jazz. Then I got to make a decision if I want to do Mahomes versus the Eagle linebackers and secondary that are kind of weak, and or if I just want to go with Joshua Dobbs and just keep rolling with him. At Denver defense has actually been playing pretty good, but I don't think you can stop Dobbs. It's one thing if you can stop Josh Allen, but Dobbs has been playing great football, so I'll make a decision there between Dobbs and Mahomes. But I know I play you coming up in the rest of the way, but I don't think I'm losing the rest of the way. I think I can run the table, so we'll see. Well, I wish that basketball game ended up being better, but it doesn't surprise me that shit ended up happening, so. Like I still got to try, you know what I mean? I try to enjoy it, try to have something to do, you know, instead of just doing like a random hockey game or a random basketball game or whatever. But maybe I should have did the Blazer game instead. I would have enjoyed it more. At least it's close. They're only down by 10. But it's all good. You live and you learn, right? You hope Wemby and Chet Holmgren is going to be great and it ends up shitting the bed, you know? That's the NBA for you. But I got to always put in that work no matter what. All right, so we got 9 more minutes until I'll end the stream unless we get a goat to come in and to save us. So, like I said, let me know, you know, if there's anything specifically that you guys want to be able to see. And like I said, if we get a goat or someone coming in with donos, then I'll keep going, possibly until the 3-hour mark. If that happens, if not, then we'll just end it here in 8 minutes, and then we'll be back tomorrow for the Kraken. And then Thursday we'll do the Bengals and the Ravens, which will be awesome. Let me see if I can find some Hawaiian food for Matt. To 50, we're down by 10. Come on, Shaden Sharp. You're like the only Blazer that's worth watching. That's worth a damn. Yeah, so Sarah, sent me a thing, and obviously it's all like rumor, and you don't know if it's true or not. But supposedly that Chip Kelly's on the hot seat, and they may fire him. You know, but again, it's like we're not probably going to get rid of Dan Lanning for Chip to come back, but. Chip Kelly to Oregon, maybe. But if we keep winning, and we might actually win the Natty with fucking Dan Lanning. Just with this team, I mean, we might end up winning the rest of the games, going to the playoff, and surprising everyone and winning the Natty. And if we win the Natty, then we're not firing Dan Lanning. So I think the Chip Kelly thing is never going to happen. Unless Dan Lanning takes the A&M job. Then maybe we can get Chip to come back, but I don't know. Who knows even if Chip is interested in coming back. I mean, it definitely would put a spark in our program again. But then we would have to be careful about like violations and whatnot. That's the whole reason he left. Because if he didn't leave to go to the Eagles and the Niners when he did, we would have gotten like a 5-year probational ban. You know, they were starting to come down on Oregon with like illegal recruiting tactics and whatnot. So I don't know if you would say he's done a decent job. He's an idiot. You could have beat Washington if you just kicked field goals and you decided to beat Chip Kelly. So we're getting wins not because of him. We're getting it because based off our players that we have, not him. You know, he's definitely a piece of it, but I think we could still win a bunch of games without him and having someone else. I don't think the offensive coordinator or Lanning is that good, honestly. You know, we're just taking advantage of the weapons that we have right now. So anyone that decides to go for it like that, and that, like I wouldn't consider him good. Like Mario Cristobal was good for what he was at Oregon, but then, he started, being stupid over at Miami as well. All you got to do is kneel it, and instead he decides to call a play on third down. They fumble, other team gets the ball, next play, touchdown, and then Miami loses. So obviously, Cristobal is an idiot as well. So, I mean, unless it's Mike Bellotti or Chip Kelly, then everyone else can go to hell. So. I don't like Dan Lanning. Hell, Sarah, you want Dan Lanning in fucking Iowa? You can fucking have him. He's an idiot. I don't want him. I'm not a fan. It's like, be Dan Lanning. Don't be Chip Kelly. Be you. Don't try to be someone that you're not. Just like all these people on social media trying to copy my shit. Be yourself. Be original. Don't come to my fucking channel and steal my shit and claim it as it's yours. Is it that hard to come up with original content and nicknames and whatnot? Apparently it is. a lot of people are too lazy and they're stupid. They don't have any fucking personality. They can't come up with anything themselves. So they just have to spy on other channels and steal their shit. Lame. Sad. That's how our world is. It's like when you see a post on Facebook, right? Instead of like liking it, what do people do? They steal it and they make it their own, acting like they found it originally. When they didn't, they just saw someone else on their timeline and then they stole that post and then they make it their own. That's just what we do as people. And they can't give credit, can't give a like, can't give a positive comment. All you got to do is just steal that son of a bitch and put that photo up as yours on your Facebook feed and act like, oh, I got this. I'm the one that came up with this funny, interesting, cool post. No, stole it. Everyone's guilty of that. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. Matt Payton at Oregon. 123-87. How disgusting is that? Final score for the Thunder. Well, that might be the last time I do a Wemby and a Chet Holmgren matchup throughout the year. But you know, you always gotta give the benefit of the doubt and hope that it works out. I'm throwing up all the fire Hawaiian stuff here for you, bro, before I go. Some of these I've never even put up on the show before. It's definitely making me hungry, like bad. I have to go exercise and stop thinking about all this food. Matt Payton, Oregon State Beavers, wide receiver. Like I'm kind of torn, you know, between the Beavers and the Huskies because I like Michael Penix Jr. so much. It's like I want the Huskies to be undefeated when they play the Ducks in the Pac-12 championship. But then also, too, if the Beavers win, how cool would that be for them? You know? I mean, the Beavers are fucking favored over an undefeated team because they know how rowdy those fans are in Corvallis. It's crazy, man. Like, when's the last time you've seen an 8-2 team that's never in the top 25 be favored over an undefeated playoff team with Michael Penix Jr., who might win the Heisman? It's pretty crazy. Like, I'm very excited about that. So we'll see if I end up doing both of those games or what I decide to do. Matt Payton for Oregon State. Matt Payton, Chip Kelly. Matt Payton, Hawaiian food. 64-52. Blazers down by 12. All right, I'm going to go through the photos here one last time. And then just check all my socials to see if there's anything that's lingering or anything that has come through. And I don't think there is. So I think this is a good time for us to call it a day. And then, you guys can enjoy the rest of your night. And then I can, go walk with Paisley, eat dinner, read, and then we'll go and do the Kraken tomorrow, and then we'll do Bengals and Ravens. So I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me. I mean, I thought that the game would be a little bit better, but apparently I spent more time doing the thumbnail than the actual greatness of the game. But it is what it is. You got to be able to try things. You got to put your foot in the water. You got to be able to wait and see. And it didn't turn out the way that I thought it was, but I still enjoyed watching them. But again, that's why the NBA is where it's at. They got a long ways to go to catch up to MLB, NHL, NFL, and college football. Not going to happen. All right, let's go through all these photos one last time, and then we'll call it a day. Good old lasagna. God, I'm fucking hungry right now. That looks delicious. I haven't had a good lasagna in fucking like 6 months. So good. And the leftovers, hot or cold, good. Like pad thai, good. Pizza, hot or cold, good. Spaghetti, hot or cold, good. I mean, of course, I would rather have a lasagna hot than cold, but sometimes you can, eat it. Cold is still good. We got a little Hawaiian food showcase from Matt. Looks delicious, man. No kebab. No poke. Yeah, I'm getting so hungry right now. It's ridiculous. The Hawaiian mac, you can always never go wrong with that. God, I haven't had anything in a long time too. That looks good. We got a place called Roxy's here in Oregon that's money. It's not going to compare to what Matt gets that's authentic from the islands. That is going to put anything to shame in the lower 48. Unless you're like in California and you have like a Hawaiian transport, and they got like some kind of food cart here in Oregon or Washington or California. But I mean, the places in Hawaii are going to do it the best. I mean, look at how much that you're getting right there. That is ridiculous. Looks so good. I definitely would get an extra mac and rice on the side, though. With the amount of protein that I'm getting there, I need more. I can't just have that little glob of rice and mac. I need like extra rice and extra mac, or maybe 2 extra rice and 2 extra mac if I'm eating with all that protein. $64.55. We're almost at halftime here. 20 seconds left. Hawaiian barbecue pizza. That looks good. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys very, very much. Enjoy the rest of your night. I thought, that it would be a little bit better of a matchup, but sometimes, when there's not a whole lot going on, you still got to put in that work. You got dreams and goals. You can either be lazy or you put in the work. Sometimes you get the goal. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes, it ends up being a little bit underwhelming, but all you got to do is just keep grinding. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And thank you to everyone that donated, commented, shared. And again, we'll be back tomorrow for the Kraken and the Oilers. So the schedule coming up, just to give a quick breakdown so that we're all clear. So tomorrow, Wednesday night, we're doing the Kraken and the Oilers at 5:30 Pacific time. Thursday, we're going to end up doing the NFL, obviously, and that's going to end up being the Bengals and the Ravens. And then on Friday, we're going to end up doing college football. Thank God they actually have a game worth doing. And we're going to end up doing on Friday night, we are going to do Colorado with Deion Sanders, Shador, Shiloh, and Travis Hunter against the Washington State Cougs, 4-6 versus 4-6 at 7:30. I actually am looking forward to that as well. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to Sarah and Matt. Love you guys, and I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.